I'm so angry right now. So mad. Just went on a ride and I realized what I've been missing for 6 months was this updated suspension. Booyah! It's freaking sweet. Mad that I didn't have it. So glad that I have it now. What is up, guys? Dave here with Deranged Off-Road. I gotta be honest, I got a couple regrets with this machine. So, as many of you guys know, I've been kind of a harsh critic on the suspension of the Maverick Sport. I've never been one to say that it is a nice ride. So, today's the day. We got our shocks back. All 4 corners. Obviously, that'd be dumb to not do all 4 corners. We shipped these off to Schmitdy Racing suspensions. They're located in California. And here's what we had done. We had all new eye-box springs done. New end caps on here. Schrader valve upgrade. He's got his billet spring retainers down here on the bottom. This is billet there, whatever. We went to a true dual rate system on here. We have now high speed and low speed compression adjustment. We do not have rebound adjustment on here. Got all the high temp Viton seals installed. Shoot, what else? I don't even know. There was a whole long list of stuff he did. Obviously all revalved inside, all that good stuff. And so far, I'm freaking loving it. The ride is so much more plush now. It's all but eliminated all of the harshness out of the chatter stuff. It's just so much more pleasant to ride. I know there's a lot of guys out there that think these things ride awesome from the factory, and for some people they do. I was a little disappointed when I bought it and how harsh it was out here in the desert, in the, you know, the choppy rocks, that kind of stuff. Maybe I've been spoiled in some other machines or something. I've got some footage of this thing in the whoops. Now I'm under no false pretenses thinking the Maverick Sport is going to excel in these kind of whoops right here. They look pretty shallow on the video, but they're pretty good sized. Before these things, I was pretty much topped out at 25, 30 miles an hour, like tops. I've picked up probably 5 miles per hour in the whoops with this. I was at 30 miles an hour, pretty comfortable, hit 35 in a couple places, but I knew that was going to be the case. This machine's suspension, the length of it, the wheelbase, everything about it is kind of just working against it in whoop sections. It's just not going to be like a trailing arm setup, no matter what you do. So I'm okay with that, but I did pick up some speed. It's better in the whoops. It's definitely a lot better on the small choppy stuff.
Say a prayer for a righteous man. I bow my heart for the woman that will meet his hand, and for the children of a lost man. They're drinking dirty water, choking on your words, poisoned by the well that you got them drinking from. They're drinking dirty water, drinking dirty water. You're feeding them lies, feeding them lies, feeding them lies, feeding them lies. I left my change on the table where I met his lies. The blind man screams, I got the cure that can fix your eyes, and got the key to the free life. They're drinking dirty water, choking on your words, poisoned by the well that you got them drinking from. They're drinking dirty water, drinking dirty water. Feeding them lies, feeding them lies, feeding them lies, feeding them lies.
Oh, it is hot. Whew. So far, really loving it. I think one of the coolest things is the ability to adjust the high speed and the low speed. A lot of people, some people get confused thinking high speed adjustment is for traveling really fast and smoothing that out, but that's not really the case. I mean, it's not really linked. High speed doesn't mean traveling fast. Low speed stuff really means the speed of the shaft traveling. So the little short stuttery stuff is what your high speed adjustment is going to do. So you can individually tailor yourself to smooth out the little chattery stuff. Like, I don't know if you can see it, there's a lot of the rocky stuff. Let's see, like traveling over this rocky stuff over here, it's really abrupt and really sharp movements, and it makes the shock, the piston, move really fast. So you can adjust your high speed, you can soften that up, makes it so much more comfortable. Low speed stuff is like your whoops and your G outs and that kind of stuff, and jumping. I don't do a lot of jumping in this thing for obvious reasons, but you can adjust them independently of each other instead of just having that 3-position clicker, which basically is a adjust everything. This guy split it up for me. So, I mean, it's anything anybody can do. I think one of the questions a lot of you probably have is, why did I go with Schmitdy Racing suspensions instead of like shock therapy? Couple reasons, I guess. One, at the time, shock therapy didn't have anything for this. They kept saying, call us in a couple weeks, call us in a couple weeks, call us in a couple weeks. So I was impatient. And number two, one of the guys in a town close to me, they run Fatco tours, that kind of stuff. He has Evan over there at Schmitdy Racing do all his suspensions, and he had his Maverick XRC done by him, and he had nothing but positive things to say about it. So I decided to give him a shot. I'm very pleased. I highly recommend him. He communicated with me very well. I didn't have any problems. I think my biggest complaint, I won't even say criticism, I probably could have asked to do this a different way, was he said he was 3 weeks out, so send him the shocks. It'd be 3 weeks before he got to him. Well, I mean, it's hot, I don't really care. I wasn't really gonna be doing any riding in that time, so I sent them. But it'd be nice if you could just schedule yourself a date, like I'll have my shocks to you on or by August 3rd. Your appointment is August 4th. He does them on that day and ships them right out. I'd like to see him go to that kind of a system instead of just to send him in and wait. But I know he's a smaller operation than like shock therapy, so maybe with time he'll adjust that to where it works out a little better. But it was fine for me. I wasn't riding, so anyways, I'm very pleased with what the result is. So you guys can give Evan a call at Schmitdy Racing. I'll put his contact information down in the video description below, and you can get all the pricing, all the details from him. He can do whatever you want. If you just want to do springs, he can do springs for you. You want to go to the dual rate, he'll do dual rate for you. You want to go with the different type of clicker adjusters there that give you low speed and high speed, you can do that too. You know, it's like anything else, he can cater to what you want and at different price points for sure. This rocky terrain stuff right here is the kind of stuff that would just beat you to death in this thing. Now it moves over quite well. It's a lot more smooth and comfortable. These things would really beat you up if you were going across them perpendicular. It's not as big a deal anymore. It's so much better. I mean, sometimes these cross ruts are just so bad. Before you buy a windshield, do the suspension. Before you buy wheels and tires, do the suspension. Before you do the roof, do the suspension. Do harnesses before the suspension, but then do the suspension. Number freaking 2 upgrade everybody should do in this machine. And I know a lot of you don't agree with me, but that's okay. Like, I am so happy with this machine right now. It is a complete pleasure to drive. I know there's a lot of you out there that say it's great, but you'd have no idea what you're missing. Some of you do. Some of you have come from other things. But this is fan-freaking-tastic, I'll tell you what. You hear that? I just blew that gas cap into my hand. I don't know if that's a problem, guys, or not, or if it's designed to be like that. It was doing that to me earlier, and I just kept running it, and I stopped for a minute, and this thing was hard to start. It was almost like it was vapor locked for a minute. So, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a great thing to be building up so much pressure like that. But what do I know? Also, dudes, guys, my people, if you don't have these Erickson straps or something similar for over the tire tie downs, may I suggest you do it. So great. Look at that, like one-handed operation almost. Almost, not quite. It's awesome, guys. I'll put an Amazon link to those. I have been using these for a couple of years now, I think. So, little pro tip, guys. If you ever come out to Sand Hollow State Park, Utah, and you want to ride, and you're not going to the lake or anything like that, do yourself a favor and don't pay to go into the park. You can Google this on the Google Maps, just water tanks at Sand Hollow, Utah, or something like that. That'll bring it up. That's where I park. You park there, and you're 5 minutes away from the dunes, trails everywhere. I mean, look how beautiful it is. If you golf, there's the Sand Hollow Golf Course Club. I have no idea. I don't golf, but there's a beautiful golf course down there. Lots of people hit that. There's all kinds of vacation rentals down there you can stay in. Yeah, it's an awesome place. I love living here just for the outdoors aspect. Don't move here expecting to find a career, though. They don't exist. All right, guys, that wraps up my initial review and impressions of Schmitty Racing Suspension's job on my shocks. 100% better machine. 100% recommend Evan over there. It's fantastic to deal with. I have no complaints whatsoever. The ride is so much more improved. Can ride all day, not feel fatigued. It's just a pleasure to drive now compared to what it was. If you don't want to go with Evan, that's fine. But do yourself a favor and at the very basic minimum, get the springs, go to dual rate. It makes all the difference in the world. If you want to spend the extra coin, you can go do the dual rate and include the valving. You don't have to do the caps, with the Schrader valve. You don't have to do the high and low speed adjustment. But do yourself a favor, get your suspension done. It is so much better. I can't even believe it. I feel bad that I waited 6 months to do it at this point. But that's what it is. Again, thank you for the support. If you've made it this far in this video, congratulations. We've been having a lot of fun. Just hit 9,000 subs the other day, and we're pretty blown away by that. We hope we get a lot more. We got a lot of things that we'd like to do, and we just thank you for the support. If you haven't hit that like button, do that now. And for that 90% of you guys watching this video right now, you haven't even subscribed. If you want to, consider it. We'd really appreciate it. Lets YouTube know that they should recommend us to other people. It really helps the channel out a lot. So that's a wrap. we'll talk to you guys later. We'll see you on the next one.